saved proper thumbnail right now. Did I? I don't think I did I? No, probably not. Thank you, Fred, for joining me. I don't think the Reddit one is working right now. So I'm gonna have to restart this one, but indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing? Today's whole stream topic was inspired, or I don't know if inspired is the right word. Maybe I was lured to today's stream topic by Brother Ryan. He asked me all of the right questions. Specifically, what came up for me today. And today, just caring enough to say something. Let's see. Reddit is gonna be. Oh, no, not just yet. Hello, Shannon. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's so nice to have you here with me. Yossi Bobasi. I mean, you have to spell it with an A.
I know. Fucked up on the typing. I think my autocorrect was like, yes, Jesse.
Jesse Bobasi. How's it going? Lane joining us as well. Amanda, thank you, friend, for joining us. I am extremely caffeinated. Concerningly caffeinated right now, Lane. You know, I fucked around, and now I'm finding out.
He drank some chemical shit and now he's overhyped.
That sounds extremely sus when you say it like that.
It is extremely sus, bro. It says cow on the thing.
We went
like
to
a bull on it.
We went to.
I think he just drank pure taurine, dude.
No, Christian, please let me brain for 1 second. We went to this little water place that we get our water from, and they had like for $2.50. That's like what? That's like a penny. That's like literally a penny. For a penny, there's these little sachets.
Yeah, but it's like leaving a penny of glass cocaine on the counter. And
please
ended up going like, yes, glass cocaine. This is a great idea.
Please give me one packet. It can't be, if it's that cheap, it can't be some crazy stuff. I took one sip
of that stuff and it felt like it was shredding my insides.
You're kidding me, Christian, please, it's not that bad though.
It was pretty bad.
It was sour. It was probably just, some sort of sour compound in crystal form. Oh, let's see. It technically is supposed to work. If it doesn't, disconnect again. That's connection issues in me. I'm getting scammed by Reddit.
Suffer.
Reddit is like, yeah, remember that time when you used to be able to just like go live?
Just
how about no?
Suffer more.
How about not suffer more? I'm just gonna melt more instead. I mean, how about that?
How about you suffer?
That's good. How's it going with you, Lane? When is your next gig coming up? You have 4. Dude, he was supposed to just have a chill summer. Now he has 4 gigs, Christian.
Yossi Bobasi.
That's pretty Yossi Bobasi.
Bring in the big bucks.
Tell us more, Lane. Please, give us all the juiciest of details. I'm not going to put my phone back in the holder until I actually know it's streaming. Let's see.
You just have to bereave, Estienne.
I'm bereaving, but it didn't work again. So I'm gonna
bereave harder.
I'm gonna bereave this time.
Bereave
11% harder, and then we'll see. I'll go like 11, and then 22, and then 33, and then 44, and then see if I eventually hit like maximum bereave. Maybe it's gonna start working.
There's no such thing as maximum belief in infinity, bro. Believe harder, Estienne.
That is a good point you're making.
Bereave.
Am I having a hard time deleting them now?
Bereave.
Failed to delete post. Yeah. Okay.
Bereave harder.
I am bereaved. I'm believing right now, Christian.
You must channel.
There's another update. So I'm gonna update again. Believing 11. I mean, I believed 11% harder, but then now I'm believing like 22%. Ooh, it's actually 22 megabytes big. I don't know if I'll be able to see that. Yes, 22.12% harder belief right now. I'm starting to believe this, yeah. I'm beginning to believe. I'm literally pressing buttons in the Matrix. I'm like, please, the door doesn't want to open. Takes little door to the infinity to the shop, loads new software on it, takes it back. Now it suddenly works, dude. That's crazy. What's happening right now? Imagine explaining this to our kids one day. Like, what do you mean things didn't work? Well, you see, it was all spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
What is spaghetti, Dandy? Grandpappy? Well, you
What is
see,
the spaghetti?
10,000 different people wrote code for the same thing. Isn't that insanity, Pappy?
Yes. Nonsensicalness.
It is absolute insanity. How did it work, Pappy? We don't know. We actually don't know how it works, in fact. Still to this day. Let's see. It's gonna work, I believe. I'm believing. I'm starting to believe. I'm believing even harder. The belief paid off. 22%. That's how much harder you have to believe to say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a blessing to have you here with me. To be able to breathe. To care enough to say something. How about that? Do you care enough to say something? Me and Christian have had a very beautiful back and forth. Is that a way to say it? Back and forth when it comes to caring enough to say something when someone is distracted or not present with you. And you're like, hey, look at me. Put your phone down for a second and look at me. And if you're not willing to do that, sometimes you can't have it. You know, and do you care enough to have it? Do you care enough about the people that you wanted with to say something about it? I hope so, Salvina. I care enough. I hope you care enough. I do know you care enough because look at you, just saying something, saying a meowdy. Meow. Is it like a meowdy or is it meow? That's the weirdest thing I could come up with, like doing. I mean, it was either that or eating your spit. So I was like, I'd rather draw like a little heart with the spit instead of, or just. You're the one making.
I can literally feel the concern your audience has right now.
I'm concerned. He makes spit gestures at me.
Concern, bro.
So Christian's culture, where he's from, spitting is like the ultimate insult.
I feel like that's an insult anywhere in the world.
And no, we don't do that in South Africa, really. But you can like create tension or friction, or it's been a joke, a long running joke, like from me and Christian became friends, where if you want to trigger one another or like, you know, jabbing the hips with words, you go like, you know, pretending that you're gonna spit on him or spit at his feet. You know, it's fun. But it's always difficult to react to it, or you like either look with just like extreme disdain, or you fight them to the death. These are the two.
If I was a villain in an indie video game, I'd have spit attacks.
I mean,
Multiple different
wasn't that
versions.
a thing on Umbrella Academy? I do believe so.
I don't know.
It's just a woman that has like these glands, and then she spits on you, and then you have like the most hectic hallucinations. There's extremely spats, you know, and it's not good hallucinations. There you go.
No. I know that's empty.
I'm just gonna take one sip. You know what? You take the first sip.
Oh, thank you.
You know
You're
you know what this cup is called?
a Möbius plur.
Whoa! He actually knows. It's Hermias Plur.
Hermias plur.
Hermias Plur. You know what Hermias Plur means?
No.
Hermias apparently means God will uplift.
I
Right?
see.
And you can use the word consciousness. You can use me if you want to, right? It is the understanding of what God means to us, but it means God will uplift. And plur is the acronym for peace, love, unity, and respect. So this little cup is the elder of God will uplift, peace, love, unity, and respect. And I cheers to you, friends. Thank you for joining me. Gobbledygoo. Old Gobby prefers to say more by saying less. Yeah, that works if you have a partner or friends that are receptive to that, right? And me and Christian have been talking a lot about this actually, Gob. I at least, you know, have been convinced to call it guess culture versus ass culture. And I don't remember I think she's a psychologist, like it's a YouTube video that I saw, but she was basically going into detail how within culture and a lot within masculine dominant or feminine dominant cultures, there is either an ask culture or there's a guess culture. Where in certain cultures, instead of directly asking people to do things for you, in that relationship, you expect them to guess what they need to do for you. And how that shapes our society, how that shapes our relationships, how that shapes the things that we expect of other people. Like sometimes a person might be more identified with ask culture. Like I am, right? Ask me. You want something? Ask me what you want. I have a hard time guessing. I'm so lost in my own head. I have a hard time knowing what I want sometimes, right? Ask. Care enough to ask, if you will. And I care enough to ask you, Fred, how are you doing? Who do you care about enough to ask them? From like today's specific topic comes from this point of cell phone usage, where I see it in my own family, with my dad, where they're so infatuated with what's going on their phone, some WhatsApp group with their friends sending some video, and there's like this endless scrolling nature to that as well, like multiple different groups, one for the family, one for old school friends, one, and like I understand that there's a sense of camaraderie in that, but if you're doing it at the expense of the ones you have around you, then you're losing. You're losing something. You're losing what this moment can always allow. You're losing yourself. Care enough to ask. Care enough to tell people, hey, Christian, put your cell phone down and come and sit here with me.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would like that.
I know you would like that.
Please.
I can sense it from
Please.
75 million light years away.
You see, and now because I've asked, I have tweaked something in the universe.
Yeah.
I cared enough to say something, and now something could change. It doesn't have to change. I could expect it to change, and it couldn't change, and then I could suffer because of that. But I expect nothing, Holmes. I want you to sit with me and have chats. So that's what I want.
You don't need it though. You don't need it.
Next gig is the 29th. I'm playing for this big head rocker. He thinks he makes awesome music and is doing great, but it's just basic dad rock about being free and America. America, I'm free. I mean, some people need to hear that, Lane. Who's he to not do that? I'm happy that you get to support him and you get to learn. You get to learn how to spend time with other people. You get to, see into that fractal. Getting good, Fred. Getting even more experience. Becoming even more. I've been riding the struggle bus all the way to the stream. At least I didn't trip on the way out the bus. Phone's at 22%. I was so fine. I'm seeing like I think it's an 8-starred. Oh, it's changing. It keeps changing. So it eventually is now a missile. So it was like an 8-star geometry that was like a kind of mandala around it, and then it kind of kept zooming in as I was trying to focus and figure out what it was supposed to be and what it was looking like. And then I got deeper and deeper, and then the 8-star was actually a hole in something else, and then there was like a big old missile inside of that hole, and the missile started coming out. Love you, Jovan. Thank you for riding the struggle bus to arrive at Lovetown, Meltville. I don't here in this moment, like you've never been anywhere else. Like this moment has been just as significant as any other one, even the struggle bus. Thank you, Jovan, for joining me, friend. It's nice to have you. Good luck with your gigs, Lane. Thank you, Amanda, for the support. I just like working with him, but he needs a bassist. He was thinking about having me play with him next year, but I think I'm done after this gig. You get to provide something that he needs right now, brother bear. And maybe you'll have to do that again, right? Maybe you'll actually enjoy doing it with the other people, but you still get to have a good experience because your first experience is doing it with someone you don't particularly enjoy spending time with, which makes you even more capable of doing it to people you do enjoy spending time with. I'm sending you love, Jovan. Thank you, Lane, for the love. Shannon Nanner. Brother Ryan, indeed to you. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Shannon. All the YouTubers, thank you for joining us as well, mate. So excited that you added your musical experience for real, right? That's what it is as well. I think that's the biggest thing. Just being able to become something. And we have this trip in our minds where you decide to be something, and then you want to be that instantaneously. Oh, I want to be an artist. And then you sit down at a piece of paper for the first time in your entire existence, and you put pen to paper, and it doesn't look like what you see in your mind. Surprise, surprise. Artists have practiced for years. And then if you want to be that artist and you keep showing up for that idea that you believe you can be, you will you will be eventually. Just keep showing up for it. And care enough about that. Care enough about that in your relationships as well, where you can have a good relationship if you say certain things. That you have that power over a relationship to say certain things and shift everything as a result of it. I'd love to hear your music, Lane. Where can I find it? He has a Bandcamp. I believe if you search Lane Butler music on Bandcamp, you can find Lane Butler's music. You 488 friends right now. As my phone is at 88% and it's 22 minutes past. Synchronicities. Yeah, yeah. Me and Christian have been practicing what he likes to call crackhead energy, where we just place hands on knees and then we yeah. Today we reached mellow crackhead where we went yeah.
Yo.
Wow. Ooh. Savina with the technology is a strange one. Without it, friends and family that have distance between them would go weeks, months, or years without much communication. But with technology, we seem to communicate more with those far from us than those around us. I feel we can communicate just by being in the presence together, right? In this technological space, there is a sense of presence within that, and there's a communication just within that presence. And that communication is also present just having people in your vicinity, right? Like you can have a sense of calm, a sense of surety, a sense of love, and knowing this person is experiencing the same stuff you are, just with them being in your environment. As Christian sits there, scrolling Hinge. You still scrolling Hinge?
No?
He's definitely scrolling Hinge right now.
You
Good
don't know
times
anything,
and good people.
You have no proof.
Blessings, friend. Blessings to you, Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. Thank you for joining me, friend. Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. What's up? I shared with the YouTube friends earlier, but I'll share with you friends as well. I am concerningly caffeinated right now. I just need to remember breathing. Remember who you are. Actually do, please. You know, if you can follow 3 rules in this world, or
Who you
imagine yourself 3 goals to this world. It is to love, it is to serve, and it is to remember. The more you experience, the more information you have to remember who you are. We don't look for ourselves. We remember who we are. You don't find what you're looking for, you find what you are. Everything the light touches. Simba. Exactly. That's where I'm going. My mind is, that's literally something that I grew up with as a kid. I watched that movie maybe 22 times. I saw a nuclear explosion, but 22 times at most? Yeah, probably. The Be Careful What You Wish For song. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. What a yikes, dude. What a dude, yo. Losing your dad, dude, like that shit. Every single time I watch that movie, I love my dad even more. I was like, bro, this dude, please continue living, dude. I was faced, that was literally my biggest fear as a child, dude. My dad dying. That was like my worst nightmare. And I had that nightmare over and over again. The first nightmare I ever had of my dad dying, Holmes, listen to this, dude. I was in this almost like bazaar / display case kind of space. And there were these, what looked like black holes, like contained black holes with these kind of like bits that came off of it, and it was beautiful. But it was a sense of eeriness slash uncomfortability with me looking at these things. And then it was almost like I could see my dad being in like some sort of race. And there was like this mountainside next to this little bazaar that I was standing at. And I could suddenly see my dad like literally gunning. You know, like almost, I don't know if you've seen like Redline, that anime. It was like,
Oh, the anime movie with racing. and shit.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was
yeah.
like extreme aggression in the amount of speed that was being produced to the point where I felt like he was going close to the speed of light. Right? It was like really like that. It felt like that. I could experience an extreme like sheerness at the speed he was traveling at. That I had this anxiety of they are racing for two things. They have to be first or at least qualify in the race because if you don't, you collapse into a black hole, and you can only drive that fast. Otherwise, you collapse into a black hole. And the sheer anxiety of them, and it's also like on this mountainside. So like if you mess up, you're just like wrecked, off of the mountainside. And I was like witnessing that, and this was like as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid, dude, and I was terrified, like this deep-seated, concern, and anxiety. And I would like go to my dad, and I would, make sure he's okay, and then make sure that he's, still there. It was dreaming. Dreaming as a child is so surreal. Imagine that, dude. You're just this little being, and then suddenly you're experiencing these worlds in mind, inexplicable worlds in mind. Money. Thank you for joining me. So nice to have you here, friend. How are you doing? Have you cared enough to say something to someone, and how did that turn out? Maybe that should be something I should ask as well. Like today's lesson, at least to me, was this understanding that if you care enough to say something, things can change. People can give you what it is you think you need, but you have to say something. If you don't, how is the universe supposed to know? Melt, why not that gorgeous nature backdrop? My green screen is broken, right?
That's a great answer. My green screen's fucked.
My green screen is like so wrecked, um, I'm visiting a friend.
Melt's
right now.
just doing his yearly insane asylum visit.
Yeah. But instead of it being like I'm gonna be put in an insane asylum because I'm the insane one, I get put into an asylum where they make you insane. And that's Christian. He's like the warden, slightly tweaking my mind, planting little seeds, making me
just
second
here
guess.
to make sure that he's still alright to go back home. And has improved in his social behavior.
I can social behavior, all right. I am not actually secretly an introvert or anything. No, I totally spend all of my time just partying and stuff.
He's so bad, he comes into the city, he starts sneezing from the fumes in the air.
Yeah, instantly my brain is like, my body is like,
Having a hard time, bro.
something is amiss. What is happening right now? Melt, I care enough to ask you to come to America. Gob, I care enough to come to America. Awakened Anarchist, it's nice to have you here again, friend. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure seeing you. Have you cared enough to ask someone something or to tell someone something? Gob, I don't know if you've heard, dude. Have you heard? Have you heard, Gob? There is drama. And I had this whole trip in the shower the other day where I was imagining, like, dude, we had this whole conversation on stream. When you're having a hot shower, your body releases more oxytocin. And oxytocin is literally the love hormone, the hormone of like sensation and touch. So your mind is literally in a psychedelic state when you're showering. And I was going through this whole trip.
Staying in there so long.
Going through this, it's literally a trip, dude. I was going through this whole trip of now there is this drama. So let me share a little bit with you. For a person, a South African person at least, a South African passport holding person, to go to America, we have to jump through all of these hoops. Hoop number one is having something that keeps you here, like a stable job, or a mortgage, or a car payment, or all of the above, preferably. Then it requires you to have a plan for where it is you want to go. If you actually get the visa, and it's like a 6 month stay that you can get on a tourist visa, and then you have to prove that you have the funds to actually do these things. You know, and I didn't know these things, brother Gabri.
Sorry.
Where are you going? Are you going away?
No.
What you say? He's back. Good. It worked. What are you doing, Christian? Are you going to your room?
No.
Takes the water bottle. He's so going to his room. Lord! Closes the door. That's what we call Yasi Bobasi, you know? And sometimes you can ask for something and you won't get it. And you can. Or you can be like, oh, okay, here we are. In this moment. So, anyway. Then the last hoop, yeah, the whole financing thing. And what we're thinking about right now, Brother Gob, is to, instead of trying to do it the tourist route, which makes you a flight risk to want to stay in America, like that's what they're worrying about. You know, you're gonna be an illegal immigrant. As soon as you set foot in America, you're like, yes, I am free. I am a free citizen of America. You know, and even though that sounds very dramatically beautiful, I do like being a South African, and I very like having family, you know, and spending time with them. So I would, of course, come back, but that is not exactly something that they care about from a logistics standpoint. Looking at me, dressed the way I am, bright-eyed. What is it you do? Oh, you need an internet connection to work. Oh yeah, that is totally not sassy bobasi. No, that is. So the alternative, Brother Gav, and that's what we're actually like looking at right now, is to get a work visa instead. It takes a little bit more cooperation on both sides, where a company has to invite you, plus you have to accept this invitation, and then it can be like a year visa. So hopefully, Brother Bay, that's gonna be the immediate plan. You know, if I don't figure out how to, you know, create like a properly profit generating business within the next 555 days. Mount, I care enough to ask you to save yourself by not going to America. Slovenia, with the yow, with the with the stirring of the pot. Wow! Thank you, Slovenia. I appreciate that love. You don't have to engage in American politics. Just visit those dear friends of yours that are being oppressed by them. That's what I'm thinking as well. I don't really care about the politics at all, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing to say, but the people, you, is what matters. I can get you a job. Are you serious, Gab? Don't you threaten me with a good time. Oh, I like good times. I do stuff like that. Oh, I have a job in America. Guess I'm moving to America now. Oh, okay, cool. Guess now I'm taking care of dogs. Yeah, why not? Oh, I do that for a year? Sick. Life. Why not? Oh, you, Gav, not joking. I'm actually not joking. 9 plus 10 minutes past. Tribute, it's nice to have you here in the now. You know, there will always pass minutes. I'm not an adult. Tribute, you don't have to be an adult. I do believe he was talking to me, right? Apparently I'm an adult. People tell me this. I don't want to be one. No, no, life, no, please, please, no. Oh goodness, it really is a little bit of an experience. I've had something very beautiful shared with me recently. The interpretation, the expression, what is seen in me as a magnificent silliness, you know, magnificence and silliness at the same time. And upon hearing this as a compliment, my mind went to a phoenix, you know, this beautiful, bright, illustrious, gorgeous being that is immortal, acting like a chicken, you know, bucking on the floor, you know, and really just like pretending, maybe as like a whole dramatized scene where these hunters is like looking for this phoenix, and they're going out into this mountain range, and they find the phoenix nest, and the phoenix spots them spotting it, and is like, oh shit, these people are here to kill me, aren't they? And then instantly goes into pretending to be a chicken, as to not be spotted, of course. No, tribute 123. I don't want you to get disintegrated, friend, but that's what's gonna happen. Oh, you're gonna get spanked. You're gonna get bonk hammered into the infinite. Oh, you're gonna get disappeared, friend. Don't do that. Oh. We want you to be here to hear whatever is gonna be said, to hear what yourself says. You know, that's what's most important at the end of the day as well. As you go through these streams, what do you feel? What do you feel? I feel as of late, it's very difficult for me to really stand up for my feelings. Not in a negative way, but in a acceptance way. Like there has been some difficulties, some struggles here in South Africa, and it's been kind of unjust, especially in the context of what is the reasoning behind it. Like the reasons that Africa doesn't have electricity right now, or at least we don't have electricity for between 6 and 12 hours a day, is because of wage negotiations. The average salary for a South African employee, or at least an Eskom employee, like Eskom, our electric grid, the company that provides our electricity, is the fourth highest paying employer in South Africa with 43,000 employees. And the average salary is 29,000 Rand, which is like $2,000. And the company offered like a 7% increase on their salaries, and it wasn't enough. And our country is facing, you know, these power outages because of that now. Like there is a demand for higher salaries. And the people that provide our energy, the people that put electricity in our homes, are striking, holding our electric grid like literally captive. And it's pushing our country now to want to dissolve the entire company and make it a decentralized, maybe open it up to the private industry company or network open to the private industry. So things are looking up, but it's been this experience of being limited in certain ways and not being able to do what I should be doing, right? Like I have like a sangha. I was supposed to have a sangha today, and I had a friend that was going to join me on the sangha, but unfortunately we won't have electricity during that time. And more like it's I feel a nuisance to me at this point at most, but to the other people in the world right now, in South Africa right now, people that are trying to start businesses, I I can't even fathom how difficult it must be. So bonk sequence initiated and completed. God Nugget, I saw the future. I saw this person, you know, getting melted into the internet again. I mean, he did say he wasn't an adult, so I guess maybe it's for the best. Even though, you know, I understand the immaturity completely, I look back at myself as a child. The person you were as a child is very much aware, right? I don't think we ever ceased being a person, or maybe it was like a consciousness thing. As soon as you realized you were conscious, goes quite a bit back. But there is blotches, you know, non-significant. Like a lot of my school days, for example, just completely gone. Because it was just the same monotonous stuff over and over again. I remember like this incentive system where if you completed your homework and you did so with like a perfect date and the topic, and then you know you added a little finishing line at the bottom of it, you would be rewarded either a sticker, you would be rewarded a sticker on a chart, and then if you completed those 10 stickers on the chart, you would be rewarded one piece of candy. And I saw my peers, absolutely grinding to get these stars, to get these pieces of candy. And like I'm trying to think back as to what I was going through during that time of my life. I couldn't care. It was kind of interesting. The older I got, the more I got convinced I was supposed to care. But as a kid, I wonder what makes the difference. What is it that allows you as a kid to care or not care about certain things? What makes you more susceptible to being hijacked? And do you care enough to say something about it? What? I made it to the meltdown. It's nice to have you here on beat. Thank you for the starstruck. So nice of you. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. We have plenty of private companies where the workers are striking or planning strikes for wage increases. That cripples parts of our infrastructure too. Funny thing is they are being paid more than a great portion of the population already. That's what I meant as well, saying that this company is the fourth best paid company in the entire South Africa. That's crazy, right? Like there's companies like Google and McDonald's and KFC and Nike. All of those companies are in South Africa as well. And Eskom, our energy grid company, that at this point, right now, as we're speaking, we do not have electricity for up to 6 hours a day, right? Like minimum at this point, 6 hours a day, minimum. And then it goes up to the highest we've had is 8 hours, but some people are experiencing 12-hour outages right now. And then these people are getting paid bank, like more money than I've seen in my life. They're getting paid, and that the job can't be done. It's devastating. It's making the people a little bit angry, but anger doesn't serve me. So I breathe. What can we do? I like what's happening in Sri Lanka right now. The people took their country back. And I genuinely hope that that imagery kind of gets burned into every single executive, every single politician, every single president's mind right now. That if the human beings, if us as a collective species, decide that now all of this nonsense is done, then it's done, right? They forget that they're supposed to serve the people. They have forgotten. And weirdly enough, I feel this cyclical re-election cycle and the ability to lie and get away with things have stimulated that behavior where it's this constant you're in power, in office, in a position for a certain amount of time, and then you get churned out or you have to go somewhere else. So there is always this incentive to try and make the most of wherever it is you're put because you won't have access to that amount of power indefinitely. And it creates this toxic feedback pattern where people will say anything, do anything to get into that place of power, and then will say anything, do anything in that place of power, and then after they lose it, there is almost like a sense of being written off, where I haven't really seen an accountability practice when it comes to what some of the people do that are in power. Like accountability is something that is sorely lacking in those places, especially like for me, when I think about impact, when I think about what decisions do to people, and how a decision to people influences not only them but their children and their children's children and their children's children's children. Like there is an infinite amount of impact with the decisions we make for other people. And then to do that, to steal from those people, to steal from their children and their children's children and their children's children's children. How do you do that? How are you that deluded? And how is there no repercussion for that? Like there should be some sort of impact calculator, something that is like, yeah, you've made these many wrong decisions, you've hurt this many people, you have cut these fundings to these places, and as a result, hurt these people, and they're not having access to whatever. And some sort of accountability system. Like how can we continue to not say anything? Right? That's something that hurts me sometimes. Like we live in a society where people aren't saying things, people aren't standing up for things, people are tolerating things. Like our fuel prices right now, right? The reason this is happening is because I don't want to say names because I'm probably going to get them wrong, but the eastern side of the companies were basically running at a loss, selling their oils, trying to outcompete the orders for like American oil. So they would drop their prices, making other countries more likely to buy oil from them, creating trade relations and routes and stuff like that. So it is a business opportunity. And then when we went into this whole, crisis where Russia no longer is providing oil to the rest of the world. Now these companies are seeing this opportunity and hiking the prices into oblivion. Greed, mission shellers. Greed. And the humans aren't saying anything. Revolt against our matters. They forget where the power comes from. Exactly. Escon. And I'm not telling you to go out and murder people. Please, no. Vote locally. Vote locally. Run. Run yourself. If you believe that the hope you have for the future is one of benefiting your kids' kids, and not only your kids and your kids' kids, but the kids' kids of everyone else as well, right? And you can try and bring that life into the world. Do it, please. Care enough to say something. Care enough to say something. Power resides where people think it resides. Game of Thrones. Yo. So Dina, that is a trip. Especially since the message I want to bring in every single one of these streams is that you're the one in power, friend. That I am in the exact same position that you are. I look down and I see hands. I look out and I see our world. Right? There is not too much different. And all I realized as I keep going through this is that the power to experience goodness, to experience love, to experience stability is with you. The power is in your hands. How can we accelerate that understanding? I feel the internet as it is right now is already the uprising of that. Where for the longest time we were kind of scattered as humanity. It was very difficult to get a common understanding out to multiple people. But now, let's see. I don't know if the numbers are real correct, but there's 550 people watching right now. 550 human souls. And even if it's not 550 people, I've seen Mission Cellist, Sylvina, Escon of Tongas. I don't think I've seen you before, but what a pleasure to see you now. I've seen Aunt B. I've seen Tribute. I've seen God Nugget. I've seen Wymark and Miss Molly and Jumping Jack Jumanji. I've seen Jovan and Shannon. I hear music. I've seen Lane and Ernest. Goodness. I stopped using Facebook 6 years ago or so because I noticed how much time I was spending on it. Rather than spending time with my daughter, using Facebook always left me depressed. Exactly, and it's a loop where you feel a certain way, you crave this dopamine feedback loop, so you go back to it. And it's this endless scrolling. And it's almost like you form this pattern in the way you get to the app as well. Even when you are an artist, it's difficult to create exactly what your mind pictures. Embrace the unexpected. See, that is the universe. The universe is sometimes very unexpected. See yourself as that universe expressing it. Stop swinging. Yes, he's dramatic, isn't he, Amanda? Good day. I did face painting for kids at a town festival yesterday, and it was a blast. Melt, I wonder if you'd be able to teach yoga or dance or speak at events, something that aligns with what you're already doing. I'm holding that in my mind as well, Jovan. I just don't know who to talk to. If I'm supposed to be reaching out to people, if I'm supposed to be doing it this way, and hoping that someone finds me and cares enough to say something. It's a whole trip, Chauvin. I feel, if anything, maybe I still need to get good. You know, I still need to get even better at what it is I'm doing. They have visas for that, but I'm not sure the details. I appreciate that. I think they're calling it like a talent visa or like a specialized skills visa. I was wondering how the kids' face painting went, Joe. I'm so happy to hear you had a good time. It was great. I'm gonna send you pics, please. I would love to see as well. What was your favorite face to paint, Joe? Yeah, the paint. I painted one while wild face as a tiger. The girl was so excited. I love the reactions. I can only imagine being able to show a little kid, this is what you look like, and then being like, whoa, whoa. I can't wait to see. You could always meet the love of your life here and stay. That is true, Ernest. That is very true, friend. I don't rule that out as a possibility. But I feel if I were to meet the love of my life and stay, I would want to be able to do so responsibly. And if I tried to do that right now, I wouldn't be very responsible. Joe, they're amazing. Those kids and the reactions are everything, right? You surely brought so much joy to all of those kiddos. It brings me joy just to see that, just to imagine it, right? Like for me, I was one of those kids who would want his dad to give me money so I can have my face painted. So to be the person who gives that to kids, that is so freaking beautiful. Mm, the last time I had face paint was when I was like 9. Same, I had a cyborg face. The last face paint I had was also a tiger. So I wanted to say something, synchronicities, but was also a tiger. Thank you, Lane, for telling me a cyborg. Did you ask for a cyborg or did they just give you a cyborg? I can kind of see you asking for a cyborg and just the implications. We have Joe Bot here as well. What do you think about that, Jovan? Hey, Booper. Whoa. Wait a second. Did I miss that many? It is not by art, guns, words, or muscles, but when the hands of many join as one, when we will cross the great river. I'm seeing like a beautiful tree that has these golden bells as leaves, like little flat golden bells that have these two little tingling out parts, and then they shake against each other, and it's like glowing almost. When human hands work together, when the hands of many join as one. How beautiful. Thank you. Awakened anarchist. Just sounds so like just your friend. I'm like melting right now. Thank you for sharing that with us. I fat fingered and accidentally submitted the barfing emoji the first time. Please forgive me. Oh, I see my friends. Meltmore, Boop, and Kassan. I see you, Happy Smile Seeker. Looks. I see you, friend. Thank you for joining me. Barfing, giggle, giggle. You get some good sleep last night. I do hope so. I actually did get some real good sleep. Yes, like Gob also. More synchronicity for the rhyme. Gob also slept well. Did you sleep well, Auntie? You get some sleep. Yeah, you're welcome today. PK Ripper starting a live talk soon. Bring your dad jokes. Do I have any dad jokes? So, why do scientists not trust atoms? Because they make everything up. Do-doom. Do-doom, do-doom. Doom, 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 doom. Whew. Tell PK Ripper I love him. Thank you, on B, for letting us know. Please, go and tell that dad joke. Hey, yeah, good friend, cute, angry, dark elf. It's nice to see you. I don't know where I was going with that. I slept okay. Just okay, on B? Anything particularly? Did you have any dreams? I've been having pretty crazy dreams here at Christian's place. Apparently, there's some sort of magic juju happening. Yes, ma'am, got 8 hours. Woke up to cuddle with doggies, and then we walked for an hour. Got stung by a wasp 100 feet from my house. Nice. You're like, no, Melt, not nice. Wasp stings, hurt. Yeah, But at least you got to have that experience, right? How many people got to have the Wasp Sting package DLC run on their human simulator today? Rather than I'm happy that you're okay and not allergic, dude. Sending you so much love. And that one of the dogs didn't get stung instead. You know, they don't know what's happening. I slept okay. Bonjour, good friend. How are you, poop? Thank you for the love. Good one, Mel. Thank you, friend. A bit ragged, but smiling. I'm feeling a bit ragged as well. You know, a little bit like somber as well. I'm getting to the close of the time I'm going to be spending with Christian. I'm going to go back home, be on the farm again, have the whole expanse as the background, being able to dance. I want to start doing morning streams, the beautiful sunrise, get that red light in my eyes and over my body. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being home again. Looking forward to taking you friends with me as always. Good to know. The wasp thing is very stingy. Yes, it does do this stingy stings. You know, sting, stingy, stingy, sting. Like when I hear about, I don't know why right now, but thinking about a wasp sting, I'm thinking about this dude who like goes and gets these wasps, and then takes them with like tweezers and lets himself get stung. And I'm just like, bro, don't you have something better to do? Oh, well, that's, I mean, technically, you know what? Now that I spent some time actually thinking about it from the context of infinity, the other side of it is just in this world being able to experience all of the different insect stings and not dying for it. Who am I to say that that's not an experience worth having? Trending positive, my friend. How is you? Thank you for sending love, Gab. Got any potatoes? Tobacco. Stingy? The wasp sting is it stingy, not stingy? Is it stingy or stingy? Stingy, stingy. It depends on where you place the emphasis. I'm good. I'm happy to hear that, cute, angry, dark elf. I want you to think today, friend. This is what today's stream topic is about. Do you care enough to say something? You know, especially to the people that you love. Having a dad or a mom or a loved one or a sibling or a friend who, when you're trying to spend time with them, is ceaselessly distracted or on their cell phone, to care enough to say something to them. You know, it can be difficult, can be an experience of separation as well, but if you don't say something, nothing can change. So please say something. Hugh, thank you, Dark Elf. Thank you for saying something today, friend. For being seen in this space with us. No, it's no, it is stingy. Stingy. I'm even more confused. Stop strunking me right now, Gum. You stop. You stop strunking me. I've been stung 3 times. 1 is an experience. 2 is bad luck. 3 is proving that wasps are just fucking evil. I mean, I've been stung in the hundreds of times by wasps, Zolina. I mean, I was also that kid who would walk into random ass abandoned buildings, you know, and then there were like wasps all on the roofs, and then they're like, "Who the hell is this punk?" And they wrecked me. So I've been stung multiple times. The worst, at least I don't know if it was the worst, but it was the most dramatic stinging experience. Those little red small wasps got like underneath it like landed close to my buttocks and then climbed up my back and then got underneath my shirt and then I felt it and then it stung me and then I tried to take my shirt off and as I was taking my shirt off it dragged across my back and everywhere it dragged there was just like this little stipple mark of it stinging me over and over and over again where I had this whole little line on my head of like wasp stings. I was like, bro, that's not cool. Why would you do that to me? Why could you not just? And like for me, how fast it was stinging was actually the most impressive part. It was very small, multiple stings. Oh goodness, wasps. Yeah, sheesh, that's terrible. It was quite dramatic, especially because I was like I'm being a little bit tame in telling the story, but imagining I was like 7. I think I was 7. Imagine a 7-year-old screaming like he just got, run over by a truck, type of vibe alongside alongside it. I love the reaction. This is amazing. The last time I had face paint, I really want to shoot. That's terrible. I'm happy you enjoy that, Amanda. Thank you for letting me share that story. Hello, hello, Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. Nice to see you here with me. I wonder where our friend These Are Beans is. Maxine. Hmm. I'm seeing like a shell of what? An oyster? A pearl? I don't know what they call it. A mollusk? I see like a little shell next to the beach. Sending Maxine love wherever she is. She's probably present. You know, looking down her own hands, maybe making something, maybe taking care of her plants, of her pets, making a work of art. That's the fractals that I can imagine right now. Thank you for asking, Brother Gab. I care, so I speak up, and I appreciate you for that. Aunt B, thank you for saying something at all to me. Just jump, Meowdy, dear Lord Mel, that sounds awful. It was dramatic, but it was an experience, right? Again, out of all of the experiences, if I didn't have that experience, you couldn't have had this experience and sharing that experience. So, who am I to say that that experience wasn't worth having at all? Mm, not trying to be a one-upper, but once I was trying to impress a boy, balanced, walking across a dead tree. My foot broke through a hollow part, and it was the Yellow Jacket Hive. Took off, comically running down the creek, shouting and waving my hands. Yo, Jovan, that's like a straight movie, esque kind of like animated vibe in my mind. Yo, that's so crazy. It was very unimpressive. It might not be impressive to be in that space, but it is dramatic, if anything. How interesting. I'm guaranteed you weren't bored. Oh, I wish something would happen in that moment. I walked into a nest of caterpillars while moving my garden one time. Caterpillars. Caterpillars? Stings on my arm. It was brutal. Was it like those hairy caterpillars that had like acid or something? Like what exactly do you mean with the stings? This is terrible. My phone just connected to a Bluetooth speaker. My father got to get a bit of melt out of context. Oh goodness. I'm sorry, Lane's dad. What did I say? This is my nightmare. He's like, yeah, Lane is listening to an absolute insane person. Don't you dare. Tell Dad I'm sorry. Tell Dad I'm actually not crazy at all. Care Bear! Care Bear, what a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us with the bear. I've been thinking about you a lot as of late, man. Have you had any adventures? Have you cared enough to say something to someone as of late? I'm impressed. Are you? I'm impressed. There we go. I mean, she survived. She's still here with us, so I'm impressed as well, actually, God. If you're feeling especially blessed, I am. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness. It's Care Bear. It's Care Bear. This is why I think flamethrowers were invented for such things. Yes. Oh, you approach wasps. I have a flamethrower. I throw flames. Caterpillars' stings are more like burns, fuzzy stinging, cute little monsters. Okay, so it was what I actually thought. I'm happy that there's no permanent damage. Like I'm just imagining a world where instead of us just having these small little insects that sting us, to have like a wasp the size of a human. I'm sorry. Maybe we shouldn't be imagining the size of a human wasp stinging you. No, please, imagination. Oh, I'm actually getting goosebumps. Look at that. Can you see that? I think so. My brain is like, bro, please. That's a big. I'll give more goosebumps. That's a big yikes. We didn't want to get murdered by a big insect. Caterpillars, Care Bear. I heard your name over on the YouTube. Had to come and say hi. He's here. Care Bear is one of the OGs. Care Bear is literally one of the OGs. I think Care Bear started showing up in the first month I was actually doing the stream. Ooh, what growth this dude has experienced as well, right? Like I can't share everything. I would love to. He could share with you if you're really curious. But Gare Bear has become. He has grown. He has shared with other people the knowledge he has gained through becoming, and he is still being himself at the same time. He got into exercising. He got so fit. He's like an absolute inspiration. Just seeing your name, Brother Gare Bear, makes me so happy. It's nice to have you here with us. I care enough to ask wasps to kind their to mind their own fucking business. How about you don't? Wasps, they're like, oh, fine. I'm good. What about you? Thank you for asking. Cute angry elf. I'm doing well. Super busy with music stuff, so I can't complain. It's great to hear it. I care enough to ask wasps to mind their own business. There we go. There we go. Thank you for correcting. I appreciate it, Gab. Man, I so the wasps we have in South Africa, like we have two types of wasps. We have these biggish ones that make these little dangly bit nests, with the little hexagon patterning. And then we have those small red ones. And instead of it being like a small dangly biggish nest, it's like a long flat one. And they create a surface to live on the upper side and on the bottom side, and then they crawl into that. And it's like a big nest. I know, I can see it in my mind's eye right now at home. And I haven't wanted to kill it, and it hasn't been aggressive towards us, so. They do jobs. They can be pollinators as well. And weirdly enough, if you don't like spiders, you should like wasps, because wasps is the spider's ultimate predator. And spiders are the ultimate predators. They consume so much. They're like, for biomass, for the amount of biomass they have, they kill the most things on our planet. Spiders. I care enough to say hello, Mel. All good love to you as well. Blushing in the sky. Yo. I feel like the core memory I have of you, friend, is where I was like adding water to that tree on the moss on the tree, and it like turning green. Was that? I remember you being there, and when I think about you, I think about that space, and I appreciate you being here again with us now. Orange Goise. What is an OG? An OG is an original gangster, friend. It's like a term for the main dude. It's like a cultural meme term, basically. Orange Goise. Thank you for the troll mojo. Hello, Mac. How are you? Thank you for asking. Spiders look inbred. No offense. Yes, he did. Poor spiders. So spiders got dissed all over the world. Cute angry dark elf had absolutely no mercy. Just like bah, 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 shoots in the barrel all of the spiders in the world. I mean, spiders. I don't know. I've never thought of spiders as inbred. I think of spiders as just extremely eerie, with their multiple eyes, and their 8 limbs, and their lust for things that are alive. For me, the spiders that bother me the most are the roamers. Jumping spiders I kind of tolerate a little bit, unless they train their little eyes on me. They have very acute eyesight, and weirdly enough, when they look at you, like there's certain spiders that have like big lenses, big as eye lenses. They focus those eye lenses straight on your eyes. They look into your eyes. That little spider looks into your eyes. It wants to see your soul. It's crazy. I don't know if it wants to see your soul, but like you can infer a lot of movement from the way the way the eyes look actually. How did you like it, Lane? My phone just connected. I cared enough to say something. It blew up in my face. They got so defensive. Ernest, and now you know. Now you know, friend. Now you know that that is a possibility, and you can adjust. You can care enough to say something again, and maybe say something differently, and see how that works out. Have a good one. Yes, but still, I hate them to death. Shame. The poor spotters. Spiders are dope. They are dope. Opioid grower. Opioid growers. Oh my goodness. Love everyone here. I gotta go though. Big love, blessed everyone. Remember to be kind and courageous, courteous and calm. Kind, courageous, courteous and calm. Kind, courageous. Thank you, Jumbo Jumanji. Love to you, friend. We'll see you again. Happy Smile Seeker says, that's because every spider comes from the diffraction labyrinth. Don't get me started on that stuff, friend. Yes, but still, I hate it to death. Have a good one. I've been living life one day at a time, working through my anxiety, learning to love myself and trust others. My girlfriend will be moving down to live with me in a month. It's been 6 months in the waiting. Things are coming together. But the Gare Bear, you're allowing, dude. You're allowing, you're worthy, you're experiencing, you're growing. Thank you for sharing the growth with us, even in moments like this. I appreciate it so much. Bonjour, Joe Bud. How are you? I want to go to the bathroom right now. I'm mildly tense. I got stung by a wasp in the forehead about a year ago, and I have a faint, slightly off-center third eye. For real? Mojo? I mean, like that's a whole trip. And I don't know if you've seen Carrie. I think it's called Carrie or something like that. But that is pretty cool, actually. The third eye, having been stung there. I mean, on a real visceral level, your psyche and your brain and your body was responding all of your attention to that spot in your brain and your head to heal that sting, right? To reduce the pain, reduce the inflammation, the poison, whatever. No, 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 no. So on a very real level, you did focus that energy onto your third eye spot. That is great. Good luck on your journey with anxiety and self-love, and loads of luck with your girlfriend moving in. It's gonna be beautiful, friend. Make the most of it. Care enough to say things, brother Gary Bear. That's today's message. I had no problems with spiders until I was bit by a brown recluse. Now, if they stay out of my space, they live. I feel that, like, being bit by something that's poisonous is just not a vibe. Like, they do damage. They do actual damage. They're so dangerous. They've been, we've been driving 8 hours to visit each other. Just 8 hours back and forth. That's crazy. I'm happy that you get to move in, Brother Bay. Like, it's gonna be so much more. It's like, it's gonna be a whole different experience, and I look forward to you having that. Miss Mouse, how are you? Thank you for asking. That's my rule of spiders. I let them live, but if they get anywhere near my bed, no more life. Yeah, like the bed, they should like you should basically be a node to conscious evolution of the spiders as well. Where the spiders that get on my bed and on my body don't get to recreate, don't get to reproduce, right? They just get snuffed off the gene pool. And all of the spiders that have their own space and live in their own space gets to recreate, reproduce, which means that gene expression of staying in your own space gets kept. At least that's the way that I like to think about it. Geez, that's a lot of driving. Too much. Like I've maybe like driven in my entire life like 10, maybe 20 bouts of like 8 hour drives. So I can't even imagine. Geez, a lot of driving. That is excited development. I feel secondhand enjoy for you, right? Just like Ooh, I have not ever had a girlfriend move in with me. Like the closest I got to that was a girlfriend studying close to where I was living and being in the dormitory, right? And then she would come and stay over with me. Like that's the closest, dude. So I can't even imagine the trip you're gonna go through. The amount of secondhand joy, as you said, with the bay, I can only feel it. Lots of gas, so much, especially with the gas prices right now. That's a nightmare. I'm present. Very nice to see you. Much love to you too. Thank you, Molly. When the spiders learn to pay rent, they can stay. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you, friends. I need to go to the bathroom. I appreciate you for joining me, sharing this moment, for caring enough to say something. Goodness, I appreciate it. Love to you. Love. There's so much love. More love. All of the love to you. Thank you for joining me. See you again soon. Suddenly, the secret council of the YouTube commences. There's 4 people watching, and there is 4 updates, which means we are exactly in tune with the 44 energy. We had a bunch of friends tuning in the Reddit. My phone's connected. Father. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. What's it gonna be? Card shadow, of course. Let's see. I don't know if I'm pulling the right. Okay. Meditation. It's the colors I'm wearing today. Kinda. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Stop focusing on my face. There we go. It's a beautiful card. Card number 27. Purification and forgiveness. Those your Pokemon cards? Yeah, Sylvina. My go gadget purification meditation. You just got purification meditation. Yeah, your move, Sylvina. Your move, friend Amanda. I don't know. He didn't say anything. Thank you. I hope he's okay with it. That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm happy to show you as well. It goes like this. Geometry, the geometry of the golden spiral hearts, encourages you to meditate and purify your consciousness. These hearts embrace the energy of love, both within the core being of the figure and expanding beyond into radiant universal love. She sits in meditation, willing to forgive herself and all beings, ready to purify her intentions to live a life of compassion and integrity. Flames consume and burn away all that does not serve the most loving, kind, and compassionate true self. The blue flame is that which burns away ego. This card encourages you to purify your thoughts and look to your heart for guidance and support. Old paradigm thinking and prejudice reactions have a way of leading to feelings of guilt, gloom, and confusion. Is there an obstacle to your spiritual growth that has caused you concern of late? Is self-criticism impeding your path to your true essence? Forgive yourself and see all notions of unworthiness and shame being burned away in this transforming fire of purification. Forgive your loved ones, neighbors, politicians, and all beings for the things they have done or said that do not benefit the greater good. Let the blue flames burn away ego and reveal self-esteem and self-respect. The universe supports your growth and purification. Melt more. Huh? Melt more. Yo, the politician call out. Forgive them for not having done what serves the whole. Thank them for when they did do what needed to be done. Thank you for doing this with me. What a pleasure. What an absolute surreal, deep, heartfelt pleasure to have had you here with me in these moments. To be able to share the cards with you. Because females. I mean, females can be very difficult, friend. It is the hardest thing in existence for me. I don't understand. I don't think we're supposed to. That way it stays interesting. Thank you, Shannon. Beautifully synchronous, right? Everything always is. Thank you, Fred, for tuning into the frequencies with me. Love to you. I appreciate you joining me. Cheers.